The weather app says it's minus 21 outside. I'm walking with no gloves, but it does feel cold. I stepped out a few minutes before and I did use my remote to start the Jeep, to heat it up a little bit. So heading to work with my pre-cooked meal. Finally finished the last portion of rice, because I cooked like a whole saucepan. And today's Friday. What does it say? Minus 16 actually in the car. So somehow I trust this one more than the weather app. And I only have 118 kilometers left in my range, which is not good. Okay, so it's 6:11, 11 minutes after 6. It usually takes me just over 10 minutes to get to work. Yeah, the Durango yesterday was an interesting story with this return. I told the guy that I'll be at work when he's returning the vehicle on January 2nd, Thursday. The rental was supposed to end at 1:30 p.m. Okay, and the guy sends me a text message in the morning. He says, "Sergei, can I return the vehicle a bit earlier?" I said, "Sure." So I told him where to hide the key, because I gave him that magnetic box. I said, just lock the vehicle and put the key in that plastic box and hide it in this particular spot. And if possible, send me a picture where you attach the box. No reply. So the guy was not very good at communicating. Like, he asks you a question, you give him an answer, but no acknowledgement. Did he got it? Did he get it? I don't know. Anyway, so he wants to return the vehicle early. All right. But I have the tracker inside the vehicle, right? And so I've been checking on him from time to time just to see where he's at. And then I check at 1 o'clock, so 30 minutes to the end of the contract. The Jeep is sitting at a Shell station at the airport. Okay, so I'm thinking the guy is filling up the tank, right? Because he's supposed to return it full of gas. And it kept sitting there at the airport. Then at 1:30 I check, it's moving west of the airport to a different area. Like, really weird. And also I thought maybe he left, maybe he flew away and he just left the Jeep at that Shell station with the keys in and somebody took it. You know, you never know, right? And so the vehicle was moving west and did a circle. So I sent him a message. I said, has the vehicle been returned? No reply. Then I see that it keeps driving around, and it's like 2 o'clock. You know, like drives around in this, not too far from my home, but like, you know, 10-15 kilometers, but not returning. So I start slightly panicking. So I go, yeah, and then it's 1:30. Yeah, so it's past 1:30. So I go on the app and there's an option there, report late return. And I did not notice there was option A, the vehicle is not returned, like late return and the vehicle is still out, or option B, late return and the vehicle is returned. So I clicked the first one, and the app says basically, are you communicating with a guest? Because it's better to basically ask him to extend the contract before we act from our end, because then I'm guessing they're gonna punish him with some fees, right? Okay, so I sent him a message. I said, you're late returning the vehicle, please contact the rental company to extend the contract, or otherwise I'll have to file, you know, late return notice from my end. And this time he answers, oh, sorry about that, okay, I'll try to extend it. And then I check again at like 15 minutes, I see the vehicle is finally moving towards my home. He was like on Deerfoot Trail, Highway 2, going north towards, you know, Country Hills Boulevard. And then at 2:30, 1 hour after he was supposed to be there, I see finally the vehicle. Oh wow, look at this. Ice. There's always accidents here on the corner. Like, it's really icy. And so finally oh, see? I hit the brakes and the vehicle is sliding. At 2:30, I see my AirTag shows home. And Durango sits at my address. And the guy leaves me a 5-star review, but without any words, just clicks 5 stars, I guess because he's lazy. Didn't say a word, just clicked 5 stars. Of course, hoping that I would leave him a 5-star. So no, I filed a late return with the rental company, and this time I noticed that second option, late return, vehicle is returned. So hopefully they'll punish him for 1 hour. No, because yeah, it's not like he was just, you know, broke down or was sitting somewhere. He was using the vehicle, driving around. And then I left him, so I did that. Never heard from the rental company, but I left him a review, 4 stars out of 5, which says was good but had an issue. That's how it translates, 4 stars. And I wrote, was late returning the vehicle. That's it. So this was my second experience with rental customers. Was a bit, really, in the end, it was a bit, you know, scary. What if somebody stole it, you know? Because I thought maybe next I see the vehicle heading towards the US border. Because yeah, like, why are you driving 1 hour after you're supposed to return the vehicle? You know, like when you rent something, right, from, let's say, Hertz or Budget or whatever, dollar, right? If you're late, they'll make you pay for, like, I don't know, half a day or even a day. But I'm supposed to make good money on this. So except, yeah, oh, and the vehicle, I was also scared because this guy added like 2 additional drivers. And of course I cannot do anything. I just get a notice saying that your, you know, primary driver just added another driver. Everything is checked, you know, email, phone, email address, phone. So they check him, but they said the principal driver must be present when picking up and returning the vehicle. But still, so many people are driving my Durango that I never met. I only met the principal driver, right, when he came to pick it up. So I was a bit anxious to see how many wheels are left, you know, and how many dents they put on the doors. But to my surprise, I walked around. The app took me to take a bunch of pictures. I took pictures outside, inside, and besides the regular dirt inside, but I see dirt on the floor in the back, in the front, so there was definitely a bunch of people inside, so but it's just, you know, regular dirt. And I gave him a blanket for the cargo space. Still they managed to put some marks on the carpet in the cargo space, and my blanket is all pushed to one side. Like, yeah, people have no respect, you know, when it's a rental. Like, why didn't you use the freaking blanket I gave you, you know? So today's Friday, so tomorrow, Saturday, I'm not working. Great, so I can do Uber, and as I mentioned before, Saturdays are the best day. With hopefully I can make like a couple $100. But in the morning, I found a coin car wash here where I can wash it myself. So I'm gonna take the Durango to that car wash and clean it up, and I'm gonna bring my spray and clean up inside and outside. It's fully fueled, so no damage. He didn't put too many miles on it or kilometers, because I checked on him a couple of times before during the rental. He was he just went, you know, like our resorts here, Banff area, like, which is 2 hours away. Banff, he went to kind of like mountains, probably did some hiking. Probably that's why there was dirt in the cargo space. They probably had some bags and stuff like that, but which is okay. But I mean, it's my right, I'm pretty sure, you know, like when you're a driver, let's say you work for a trucking company, and they always have trackers inside vehicles nowadays, because it's their vehicle. Like the Freightliner I'm driving, it has a tracker. All the pickup trucks I'm driving at work, they have trackers, so they can see immediately on their computer. They can just click the shortcut and they can see where you are, and it's not my vehicle. So somebody mentioned that it's a violation of privacy if I track my own vehicle, which is bullshit. Okay. And this time, so first time I did not do it, but this time I put this little air tag in it, and it was really helpful. But then of course at the end I was thinking, wait, so is it the vehicle moving, or maybe they found the air tag and they're just making fun with me, and they put the air tag inside some other vehicle, you know?
Hi there, what can we get started for you?
Yeah, hi, can I please get a grande Americano upside down with one shot of hazelnut syrup, if you have it?
Perfect. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, it'll be $5.35.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Man, yeah, I forgot my cup, my travel mug at the in the truck yesterday, so did not brew my own coffee today. Do I have any money on my Starbucks app? Oh, my friend from Leduc sent me a $20 gift card for Starbucks. Thank you, sir. And also he sent me $50 for Boston Pizza. I already used up $41 on Christmas Day. Had some what did I have? Oh, I had some vegetarian pizza with a glass of wine. Speaking about wine, January is a dry month, right? I fell off the wagon slightly yesterday, but January 1st, no alcohol. So today, no alcohol until my birthday. I feel definitely much better when I'm not drinking. Hi there.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad. You want a sticker stopper on the top?
No.
You okay?
So minus 17. Now that's what it shows. And I always wonder, okay, where's my Americano? But the good news is that finally it finally the sunrise gets here earlier and earlier. So like I mentioned this before, my late dad was really, you know, into tracking this sunrise and sunset. And when the midwinter happened, the shortest day of the year, what is it, December 22nd or 23rd, he was really depressed until then, and then once the clock started, you know, the daytime started increasing, he was really looking up. Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
You too. He really was getting into a better mood, you know. Like, look at these beautiful trees. Man, I love it. So he really was, you know, getting into better spirits. Kind of like looking towards spring, you know, the revival. The nature was awakening finally. Well, I have about 5 minutes before I had to work. Yeah, we know. Should have bought a venti. That's what my car is trying to tell me. But I mean, so this what did you say, 525? But imagine, this is the cheapest coffee actually, because most people, and trust me, I know, when I stand in the line there, if let's say I'm not doing the drive-through, most people when they go to Starbucks, especially young girls, or syrup, she put one hazelnut syrup. I wanted that. So most girls, I don't know where they get the money, but they order those fancy drinks, you know, with milk and frost and icing. And I look on the board where it shows the pricing, and it's like $7, $8, you know. So let's say a couple comes in, they take a couple of these fancy drinks plus a couple of those overpriced cookies or sandwiches they have. Like, you know, I used to eat a lot of those. That's why I gained weight. So nowadays I don't eat sweets. Except yesterday, you know, I bought a loaf of bread for some reason, wanted some bread, and I chose the most healthiest one with lots of fiber, and it had seeds inside, so lots of protein and very low on carbs. And man, I was cooking something yesterday, and I kept popping these bread slices into a toaster oven to toast them up a little bit. And by the end of the night, I see that I had a half a loaf remaining. So I finished that loaf of bread. That's a bit too much on carbs, you know. Because even though totally it's low on carbs, but still, it's like probably, I think 2 slices had like 20 grams of carbs. And they probably had like, I don't know, 8. Man, it's really cold. I just did my second delivery. So first one was I delivered a scissor lift to a transit station. Like, I don't know, humongous, you know, covered garage where buses go in, and then they complain about, you know, not making money. And they have like 3 or 4 of these in Calgary. You know, imagine the size of maybe 2 football fields. Like really, probably like 5 acres, and it's all covered, and buses go inside. It's like a bus park, and that's where they fuel, that's where they do service, that's where they have offices. Everything is inside this humongous building, which is a garage pretty much. but 6 acres, because we drive around for like 10 minutes, you know. So dropped off scissor lift over there. The customer says, I'm not on site, talk to security over there, they will know where my guys are working. So I show up there. The security guy is laughing at me. He says, I have no idea where they're working either. So he says, okay, drop it on the northeast side of the building, in the shipping receiving area. Okay, so I leave it outside, and it's minus 17. Actually, that's what I was trying to do. Celsius to Fahrenheit.
0 degrees Celsius is equivalent to 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
So minus 17 Celsius is 1.4 Fahrenheit. So it's pretty much 1 Fahrenheit, almost 0. And my fingers are falling off. Like I have these gloves, which are definitely not adequate, you know, for this kind of weather. They're good for rainy weather. When it's wet, I really need better gloves. Okay, next one is I'm supposed to pick up. I'm picking up. So now I did one. Yeah, that was the first one. The second delivery, I loaded what they call them, warehouse forklift. You know, like a nice medium-size forklift. And I brought it here to Indian gentlemen. They're doing some heavy lifting over here. And he opened the door. He was waiting for me, the bay door, so I can drive it in. And I just hooked up a winch. Southwest, yeah. I hooked up a winch and I released the brake. Man, I'm looking at where my next is. It's 35 minutes.
Make a U-turn.
40 kilometers. 25 miles. Okay, call upon arrival, stopped in place, driver requested for pickup. Requested to please call John, morning of January 3. Let them know approximate time of pickup, as they have to come in on call. Okay. Yeah, sorry, my nose is running because it's really cold. So the poor guy was like standing like this by the time I took all my chains off, and then I just tilted the bed, hooked up the winch and released the brake on the forklift, and I slowly winched it down. And of course I made sure that the rear of the truck was not pointing towards the building. You know, I was thinking about this. What if the cable breaks, right? This forklift will barrel down into the building. So I made sure that I'm standing parallel to the building and there's nobody behind me. You know, like, you gotta think about these things. It's a responsible job, because that forklift is, you know, 10,000 pounds. If it hits you, or if it runs over your foot, I can guarantee you're not gonna be happy. Okay, so I'm here, middle part of Calgary, close to McKnight Boulevard. And so you have to go back to Highway 2 or Deerfoot, and then go south, and then take, I'm guessing it's Glenmore Trail. Yeah, Glenmore Trail, Highway 8 west. And this, it's a school where I'm going. It's right at the pretty much junction of Highway 8 and 201, the ring road. So I'm gonna show you this exciting drive, because it's 40 kilometers. So probably by the time I reach that school, my battery will be dead, because especially when it's cold, they don't last very long. But well, it's warm inside the truck. But actually, I'm so happy that, you know, I have this, right? It's kind of like your own little portable heater. You know, that's what's cool about being a trucker. All right, so we're good to go. The suspension is up, the PTO is off. So the forklift is delivered, another happy customer. And you see, they fixed this. This truck had this little problem where this was not fixed. it kept moving. And so basically slowly, you know, this truck was really in a bad shape. Like whoever drove it before me did not care at all. And so there were all these little things. If you remember, I was talking about this, like the window was rattling like crazy. This thing was, if you brake hard enough and you push into the steering wheel, it was going down. So they fixed that. Then there was some issues with the controls for the bed. They were getting sticky because of all the mud, right? They fixed that. And what else? So yeah, this was really bad, rattling. The steering wheel, there was something else. So now I talked to the boss. I said, we try to, you know, I was checking the air pressure on the tires, and as I suspected, because of the cold weather, a couple of them were like 80 psi. So I checked the door sticker and it says like 100 at least. And I checked the sidewall of the tires, it says maximum pressure cold 110. So they definitely can take more than 80 psi. But it's very tricky, you know, those tandem tires. So we did our best. Another guy was helping me in the shop the other day, but all we could do was 90 psi on the outside. Yeah, pretty much. Like the front I was able to do 100, but the rear 90, and that's it. It was, you know, losing air. The angle is crazy. It's hard to put the chuck in place, you know. And so I told the boss, I said, could you please make a note that next time this goes for oil change, that they bring the pressure to 100 psi. Like I'm always, I remember I was always on it when I had my own truck with like 40 tires. You guys remember, I would go to a tire shop and I would pay them, especially in this kind of weather, because I had so many tires. I think they would charge me like $1 per, no, maybe $1.50, $2 per tire. But yeah, it's like 60, 70 bucks. But, you know, I'm sitting inside sipping coffee and the guy's crawling outside in -20 weather, like 0F. Like, you know, that's why you pay them. But here, there's only 6 tires. So the front were easy, right? Like you just get the chuck in there, boom, 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 because we have air in the shop. But the rear tandems were very difficult, because you need a special, another type of a chuck, you know, to hook up to that valve, because it sits at an awkward angle. And so I told the boss, I said, please next time ask him to make sure tires are at least 100 psi. And he says, oh, actually they're supposed to do that. I said, well, I just checked all the tires, they're 80 psi. And he frowned a bit and made a note. And so now the next thing I want to do, just keeping, you know, taking good care of the truck, is, since now it's still winter, and quite often, you know, we have to drive when it's dark, right? It's dark in the morning, and then it's getting dark when I'm finishing work. And so I need my headlights to work properly. And what I noticed happens here is that one headlight shines into the ground, maybe like 50 meters away from me, but the other one is nowhere to be seen. And when I stand in front of the truck, I see that it blinds me. So it shines into the sky. It's too high. So one is too low, the other one is too high. So they definitely need what they call aiming, right? And I will look into it. Maybe I can do it myself. I can just park the truck near a wall, right, and just make sure the light from headlights are at the same level. But you know, sometimes it's tricky. I remember I had trouble with on my old International, you know, because with the time, like this one already has 284,000 kilometers, which is what, 60, 120, 170,000 miles, 170,000 miles. So it's getting old. And so of course when you're driving, everything rattles and those headlights get out of alignment, so to speak, right? So yeah, like one shines like this, the other one like this. So this should be like this. And that's, we're talking about low beams, you know. So yeah, that's what I'm taking. I'm trying to take good care of the truck, and it was really in bad shape when I got it. And the other one we have, the same type of a Freightliner. It's a new truck, but the other driver asked me if I want to drive that one because I was the first. I got hired before him, so I have kind of like a, you know, seniority. But I said, you know what? I'm already used to this one, even though it's, especially back then, it was in a worse shape than that truck. That truck only has like 35,000 kilometers on it, you know. It's like 1 year old. But I said, you know, I'd rather drive this one. It already feels kind of like my truck. And that's what we decided. The other guy drives pretty much always that newer Freightliner. I drive this older one, but I know this one. I know the quirks, I know the issues. And now pretty much everything is fixed. Oh, then there was a couple of issues I noticed again, because we started driving at nighttime. I noticed a couple of clearance lights on the side of the bed. It has like 3 clearance lights on each side. The out of these 6 clearance lights, only one was working. So I talked to the boss again, and next time when they were doing oil change, they replaced the lights, and when it came back, like, it looks very nice in the dark, you know. So I'm super happy that management takes these requests, you know, seriously, because I said, hey, these are lights, right? So they're important, because we can get a ticket if some of your clearance lights are not working. You can get a ticket. And of course they will give a ticket to the company because it's their truck, but they will put my name in there, and then it goes on my record as well as the driver. So that's why I never understood, you know, those cattle guys that have like 2001 lights on their trailer. Because what's funny is that when you have extra lights, even though they're not required by law, but they must all be in working condition. If some of those 2001 lights are not working, you'll get a ticket. So why risk it, you know? So I don't think I ever added extra lights to my trucks. When I had them. Okay, so we are near the airport. This is McKnight Boulevard. The airport is right here to my right. So this is west, this is north. So now we're gonna jump on Deerfoot Trail, Highway 2, southbound. Speed limits 70, that's kilometers. So guys, don't get too excited. It's not miles, not 70 miles. I don't know why they don't say kilometers. And so some American guys that, you know, some American tourists can get confused. Yeah, this is a good area for food delivery. Over there, there's Starbucks, Subway, Fat Burger, you know, like a burger place, Opa, Greek restaurant, Tim Hortons, Wendy's. It's a busy area in terms of food. Oh shoot, I'm in the wrong lane. This lane exits to the ramp for 2 north. I need this lane. So in other news, yeah, so the Durango was returned safe and sound with no damage. I'm really relieved it's back in my possession, and no new rentals, and the price went down. Now I keep it at the company recommended pricing, because I trust them, you know, they know what they're doing. And so now I think my Durango goes for 90 bucks a day. So I'm getting 75% of that. But so far, so I just got it back, right? So tomorrow I'm gonna take it, Saturday morning I'm gonna take it to a coin car wash, clean it up, make sure I bring some degreaser and some spray for the seats, and I'm gonna clean the mats and everything, and get it. Oh, and it's full of gas, so I'm not gonna drive it. I'm just gonna park it and let it sit ready to go for another happy rental customer, because it's not good. Cops. So it's not good for Uber because of especially in winter. And gas now went up again. Like 2 weeks ago, we were at $1.27 per liter. Now it's $1.49. It's like, I know in the States, I heard on the news, they were saying gas prices are at the lowest since the pandemic or something like that. Like everybody was super excited. But here, we don't see that.
Use the left lane to continue Highway 2 south, Deerfoot Trail.
Alright, so Deerfoot Trail, Highway 2 south. Yeah, we're going 12 kilometers to Glenmore Trail west. And again, here in Alberta, for some reason, most people really don't like to use numbers for highways. They use these descriptions. Deerfoot Trail, which is Highway 2, I'm on now. Stony Trail, which is the Ring Road 201, and then Glenmore Trail, which is Highway 8. I don't know. I'm used to numbers as a trucker, but when you start talking to some people here, if you say like, oh, you mean Highway 8, they look at you kind of funny. 8? Which one is 8? So my suspicion is that most people have no idea. They don't use numbers, so if you start using numbers in the conversation, they will not know what you're talking about. And on this stretch, the speed limit is still 80 kilometers an hour, even though there's no construction. They just left pylons and unfinished work in the middle. So just like it was last winter. No people working, and cops, I noticed, stopped enforcing the speed limit. Exactly like last winter. No cops, but then when the spring came and some workers showed up, cops started enforcing the speed limit. Stopping people, you know, issuing tickets. As you can see, This does not look like Texas or Florida. We had lots of snow. So minus 17, 1F. Not a good weather, you know, when you have to work outside. So I have a t-shirt, then underwear shirt, then a couple of jackets, and then I have this my hunting vest. So I feel okay. So the only thing that's, and on my feet I have 3 pairs of socks, 3, and my safety boots, just regular safety boots. They don't have any fur or any kind of compound that makes them warmer, but with 3 socks they feel good. And then on my legs I have underwear. Then on top of underwear I have shorts, you know, like fabric shorts that keep your privates warm. Then I have track pants on top of the shorts and the underwear, and then on top of the track pants I have these pants, like a cargo pants, which are kind of like jeans, so they're not exactly warm, but with so many layers underneath I feel warm. So the only thing that's the most vulnerable part of my body is this, fingers. They just start slowly falling off when you work outside. But I keep the truck running. You know, let's say I'm loading, unloading, I keep the truck running with the heater on full. And okay, the construction is over. Speed limit is 100 kilometers an hour. Most people are clueless. They keep driving at 80. Yeah, I see 100. Come on, guys. Read the sign. Most semi trucks here, they pull 3-axle trailers. See, like this dry van to my right, 3 axles, 4 tires on each axle. Why? Because you get extra weight. Like, you know how in the States, right, no matter how many axles you have, if you have a regular trailer, like not oversized, in most states you're limited to 80,000 pounds. So if you have an extra axle, it does not do you any good, because now you're usually 3,000 pounds heavier, and so you can carry less payload than when you have 2 axles. But in Canada it's different. So when you have 6 axles, like 3 on the truck, 3 on the trailer, you can carry more weight than when you have 5 axles, 3 on the truck, 2 on the trailer. And so that's the difference between our Canadian trailers and American trailers. And also quite often here you see a lift axle on the back of a trailer, like especially when it's you know, flatbed or like a cattle hauling trailer. because they can use, like here, they allow use of lift axles on trailers, but not on trucks for some reason. I don't know what the difference is, but that's why you don't see pusher axles here. Well, you do, but they have to be up, and they only put them down when they cross the border into US, because over there they are allowed and you can carry more weight. I'm talking about pusher axles on trucks. Now this, as I mentioned this before, this is a super duper dangerous area. Probably every week something happens over here. Couple of accidents, because this lane exits. So out of 3 lanes, 1 exits, and so these guys over here, they always try to jump in at the last moment, making all these guys to brake. And then of course we're driving close together because we don't want these people to jump in, and then they do jump in, and see, like this guy. And because you're sitting on the bumper of the previous guy trying to prevent that, when he hits the brakes, you hit the guy. That's what happens here all the time. But of course, you see I'm keeping a large distance. Rule 747, keep the distance from the vehicle in the front large enough for a Boeing 747 to land. Or is it 737? Anyway, should be 2 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know how you can measure the gap in seconds, right? You just pick up some, let's say this sign, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm 5 seconds behind that Beamer, which is excellent. Super safe. All right, now
Continue straight for 6 minutes to Stony Trail West.
yeah, so this is Glenmore Trail, Highway 8, going west. I'm holding the steering wheel with both hands because we are flying at 72 kilometers per hour or 46.5 miles per hour. It's a responsible job, and somebody gotta do it. See, like, take that light post, the Beamer, 1, 2, 3, 3.5 seconds, this gap. And a lot of people are leaving here because there's a big shopping center next to exits. And this is the Chinook Center. Not too much traffic today, probably because most people are still away on vacation. I'm still 14 clicks away from my destination. And that's what I do all day. Pick up something at the yard, deliver, go pick up a return, something that comes off rent, bring it back to the yard, so that our guys can look at it, make sure it's ready for another rental customer. Like, you know, with a scissor lift, like the one I'm picking up now, what they do is they wash them, they remove all debris, because quite often people leave like nails and pieces of cable on the top there, because that's what they're working on, right? Like lots of nails, lots of screws. And then when they get inside, there's a couple of rollers there where you can extend that platform, you know, pull it out, and those rollers, the nails get stuck under those little plastic wheels, and you cannot, so they have to clean them out. And then they raise the scissor lift, make sure everything works, and then they check the battery, you know, like that, the liquid levels, see if the battery needs any servicing, and then of course they charge them, plug them inside the shop. And then the last thing they do is they put the tag ready to rent, and there's a date on there, and there's how many hours the machine has, and the employee number of the guy who did the checking and the servicing. And so when I go, when I get the paperwork from the dispatch to pick it up, I go look for the proper machine, because we have 3-4 different sizes, how high they can go, and I look for that safety tag ready to rent, and I take it and I attach it to my paperwork, so they know which unit I took, and I write down the hours, and that's it. So yeah, now when I'm picking up, I have to write down on my pickup paperwork, I have to write down the unit number I picked up, and then I check the hours, how many hours it has now, and because they can charge them extra if they use the machine more than they should have. And then with excavators and stuff like that runs on diesel, I have to check the fuel level, and I make a note on the paperwork, okay, let's say 50% fuel, because they can I think customers are just like with my Durango, customers are supposed to return it full of fuel, so if they do not, the company charges them a fee.
In 1 kilometer, use the left 3 lanes to stay to the left to Stony Trail West.
Okay, straight to the left. So I'm guessing I'm jumping on 201 on the ring road. And I'm taking probably the first exit. I never liked these trailers. This guy is pulling a trailer with a single axle in the back. You know what that means? That means that he's carrying some super light stuff. Probably some, I don't know, toothpaste, bandages, you know, chips.
In 5.4 kilometers, take exit 30, 17th Avenue Southwest.
Wait, what? 5 kilometers? Holy moly. Speed limit is 100, but again, of course, people don't read signs. trick I learned is I never like to stay in when I count from the left. I don't want to be over 3 lanes, because most places max is the 3 lanes. So if you have like 6 lanes over here, chances are they're gonna be exiting or they're gonna be ending. Like you see right now on top there's a sign that says this lane where the pickup truck is ends in 300 meters. Do you think the guy knows about that? Oh, actually wait, that's not his lane, it's the one over there. So now out of 5 lanes we're losing that one, and now guess what happens with this lane? Same story. So you never want to be in lane 4 or 5. You see, like this guy, like his lane ends and he's totally clueless. So I moved over so that this idiot does not end up in the ditch. See? So 3 lanes. We still have lane 4, but it exits. So never ever stay past lane 3 from the left. That's just my tip. And it looks like I'm exiting here. Yeah, 17th Avenue. Exit 30. Let's check our horn, shall we? Works. What? Nice little hill on the right, fancy homes, man, like castles over there, like that one over there, huge, 3 stories. Like, why do you even need a house like that? Probably that's what I should buy when I sell my 1-bedroom condo, 535 square feet. I'm gonna make a killing, and I'm gonna use the money for a down payment on a mansion like that. Oh man, the pickup truck is following me. The one that almost ended up in the ditch. My guess is he's following me to say thank you. Maybe not. Oh, I know this area. This is a gated community. If you go to the right, it's a bunch of these rich houses, and you cannot enter unless you have a code. Yeah, this Slope View Drive.
In 600 meters, turn left on Westminstone Boulevard Southwest. In 300 meters, use the left lane to turn
pickup truck is taking an exit on St. Moritz Drive. Yeah, I talked to the guy who's returning the scissor lift. I said, anybody on site? He said, yeah, go through the front entrance to the school and go to the gym. He says, we put the machine inside the gym because it was cold. But he assured me there's people on site.
Turn left on Aspen Hills Drive Southwest.
Is it this school? No. Like, I don't know why it's beeping like this.
Turn left on 93rd Street Southwest.
But when I'm turning and the truck, you know, goes like this, it starts beeping. I'm guessing it's probably the DEF shifts to one side. But I never see any indicators, like any error, so it just gives me this
Turn left.
gives me this sound. Man, this is quite a trip, but beautiful over here. Oh, I see some kind of a school-like structure at the top there.
Turn left on 93rd Street Southwest.
Oh, wait a second, I know this one. I've been here before. It's called Calgary Academy. Yeah, they've been doing some repairs in the summer
Turn right.
when the school was out, and again, I think now there's no students, right? So that's what they are fixing something inside again.
Turn right. Then turn left.
Okay, we're done. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. I have no idea where the gym entrance is, but I know the main entrance is over there, and that's where I was. Yeah, I think I delivered also like a scissor lift last time, and that's where I dropped it off. Wow, they have lots of snow here. They don't clean. All right, let me go find my machine and see if I maybe have to move the truck to a different spot, because the snow is pretty deep here. I don't think the scissor lift will go, because the tires are, you know, they're like slicks, like racing tires.